Seems like we are live, but
It
it is flashing on my end also.
Great.
Yeah, okay. So we are live. For some reason it says that it's not, but it is live. Great. So hello everyone. Apologies for the delay. Technology is sometimes really difficult to handle, even for us. So we have Maliha Abidi with us today, and her team reached out to me and we started talking about the work that she's doing. And I really enjoyed going through her website and the work that she's been doing. And I really wanted to talk to her and invite her over for a chat to talk about her amazing work for rights advocacy. So here she is. Thank you so much, Maliha, for being here, for accepting the invitation. And instead of me talking about you, I would really like you to introduce yourself and tell us about your education, your professional journey, and why did you started WomenRise?
Yeah, well, firstly, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I haven't heard a proper pronunciation of my name in a while. So the way Faiza said it, I was like, oh, okay, now I don't have to explain it because, you know, we both are Pakistanis. And Faiza, firstly, I want to appreciate you for all the incredible work that you're doing. And you have such an incredible community, and you have allowed me the privilege of coming to your platform and sharing my story and sharing the story of WomenRise. So I'm really grateful for that. So thank you so much for having me on this conversation. And I'm originally from Karachi. I grew up between Karachi and Hyderabad for the first 14 years of my life. I really, really enjoyed my childhood, loved my time in Pakistan. And today I'm proud to call myself an artist, an author, and I'm really, really grateful that my job includes having conversations with people like yourself. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Maliha. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your education, what you have studied, where you have studied, and why did you get into art, and why do you think the work that you do has so much importance?
Yeah, so I don't have any formal education in art. Um, and I grew up in a very artistic family, in a very creative family. By that, I don't mean that people in my family were professional artists. I'm the first professional artist in my family, but they were very like into just expressing themselves through creativity. Like I have an aunt on my dad's side, my pupo, she is known to like write poetry. I have another aunt, her drawing skills I have been hearing about again and again for as long as I can remember. And my dad, whenever I create any piece of art, since I was little, everybody in my family used to be like, this is great, but your dad just used to do it so much better, you know? So I always had that. And even though he's not, again, like a professional artist, he's an engineer by profession. So I have grown up with people who appreciated art, but didn't have any formal training in art, or and also my grandfather, like he was always somebody who was a creative person as well. So yeah, it's I've been encouraged for as long as I can remember by my father, and art has been a part of my life forever.
Great, great. Thank you for sharing that. I, on the other hand, come from parents who can't even draw an apple, and I'm the same. So, massive respect for people who can express themselves, through art. So, so you came into digital art. Why did you choose it over conventional, ways of expressing yourself?
So my professional art journey has been around 11 years long now, as of May 2023. And And I was very much a traditional artist. And even today, I play around with various mediums in traditional art, like colored pencils, oil paints, acrylics. But digital art was something that I basically received a commission back in 2019, a little bit before the pandemic, actually. And I received a commission, and I told my husband that, you know what, it may sound really impulsive, but I really want to put all of this money into buying a digital drawing tablet. And he was looking at my face because we have never spent that kind of money on anything. It was an iPad that came out in 2019, and I can't remember how much it was, but maybe it was like 800, 900 pounds at the time. And that was a lot of money. And that was like me putting in all of the money from a commission. And I was worried that I'm not going to be interested in digital art, but I really want to try it. And that seemed like the most convenient way for me to explore digital art, because on that tablet, you can draw like how you would draw on a piece of paper. So I started exploring that and I fell in love with it. Like the first 3 days, I felt like a child that has gotten a new toy, and I was just completely addicted. Like I was not letting go of it, and explored it so much. And that was the beginning of my journey into digital art. And to be honest, I encourage every artist to at least dabble a little bit into digital art, because it really does open up a lot of different tools, new tools for you. Digital art has also allowed me to play around with animation. And the way I create animation, it allows me to think about problem solving as well, because it's a frame by frame animation. It's like, how do you edit and stuff? So digital art is like an ongoing journey, and it has been really, really interesting for me.
Got it. So again, I spoke about WomenRise, and your team emailed me about it. So tell us about it. What is the vision and mission of the organization? What does it do? What are you looking forward to in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so WomenRise, the reason why we reached out to your incredible organization, and you specifically, Faiza, because you're really paving the way for women in science, women in tech, and you have an incredible community. So we are actually going to be in Pakistan in October, and partially in November as well. We're going to be working with various schools, because a huge part of my art practice is focused on women's rights, girls' education. Some of it comes from my own experiences as well. So with WomenRise, it started in November 2021, and it's a project that interacts with blockchain technology. It is focused on art and technology, so it's a beautiful combination of the two. And we have a global community. We have a lot of people from Pakistan as well, and it always is such a fun conversation when I do come across somebody from Pakistan or South Asia in general. And with WomenRise, we have been able to work with some of the biggest global organizations, making sure that we are representing brown women through art. We are contributing to different organizations that are working in Pakistan and various other countries, such as Malala Fund, such as Girls Effect, such as the PAD Project, such as Soul Afghanistan. So all of these different organizations and more are somehow connected with women's rights and girls' education. And so that is one part of WomenRise. Then we, of course, have our brilliant platform, Kissa, that is head by Cassie, who's our content creator, content editor from our WomenRise team. And on Kissa, we always try to celebrate stories of women from around the world, because even in all kinds of media you have seen, there is a huge lack of representation, whether you're talking about books, whether you're talking about movies, whether you're talking about the news. even social media. I mean, I have read reports on reports how social media algorithms block content from people of color, from brown women, from Black women, from women from around the world, you know. So it's a combination of different things. And then our newest initiative is Backpack X under WomenRise, and that's the reason for us coming to Pakistan. And I'm extremely excited because I used to come every year, sometimes twice a year, to Pakistan as well. And due to the pandemic, I just couldn't visit for the longest time. Yeah, we're very excited for the work we're going to be doing in Pakistan. We have some incredible partner schools. I have to give a shout out to Aski and Cassie. They have been the main drivers behind Backpack X, and Aski has been he's my co-founder and also my partner. So Aski has been working tirelessly with our partners in Pakistan. So we're really looking forward to interacting with students there and making this happen.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I remember the conversation that I had with Cassie, and she was telling me about the platform itself. So tell us about it. What is it? Is it an app? Is it a movement? What does it do? Why do you think it's needed right now?
So I'll answer your last question first, that why is it needed now? Because I feel like that's really important. So I have been in the Web3 blockchain space for almost, I was introduced to it a while ago, but almost 3 years now. And building WomenRise with my team, it has been quite rewarding, but we do various conferences every year. Where are those conferences? Most of those conferences are in the US or the UK. The conversations are happening there. Okay, that's fine. These are very diverse countries. You have people from all around the world in these countries. But then when you look at the speaker list, they're usually mainly white guys working in tech. So why it's important? Because we want to make sure that if we have explored the Web3 space and we see opportunities here, we want to make sure that we are bridging that towards girls' education, and especially to our Pakistani community. In my work, whether you're talking about art or writing, for me, it always does start with Pakistan. Like I always, like the first ever project I ever do in anything, I do it to honor where I come from, to honor my people, to honor the culture that I am so in love with, right? So now that we are starting something new, which is Backpack X, we want to first come to Pakistan and use this VR technology and use it to introduce this new space to young students. You don't know what inspires somebody. You know, inspiration can strike you at any moment. So a couple of years ago, I was at a school by Zindagi Trust, and I was there for my book. And those young girls, like they were just so full of ambition. They were so excited about like an art activity that we did to learn about the stories in the book. And that really stuck with me. And, you know, since then, I have been wanting to go back and just share a little bit more about something that they find value in. So VR education is, I mean, we saw it in the pandemic. It can be a solution for a lot of things. It's not a norm, but when it will be a norm, where do you think it's going to be? It's going to be in the US and the UK. It's not going to be in Pakistan or, you know, countries like Bangladesh, or do you know what I mean? So I feel like if we are introducing it even to a handful of people, it can start a movement. It can inspire more people. It can maybe, you know, help them think about a career in this space. And that's why representation is important as well. And that's why, representation through kissa, or representation through books, representation through art, it's a visual medium that allows you to see yourself as a main character. Until I was in Pakistan, everybody looked like me, so it was like we are all the main characters, like this is our world, right? When I left Pakistan, even though it wasn't like that direct, but I think subconsciously I started to internalize that I am not the main character. I'm the side character to the white man. So it's, it takes an internal conversation, and sometimes it takes visual representation in various other ways for you to see yourself that every person in the world is a main character in their own life and needs to be represented in their own way. So we have a lot of different motivations for bringing Backpack X to Pakistan, and slowly to various other partners around the world as well.
Got it. Yeah, absolutely. 100% can feel that. And I can sense the personal story behind it also, because again, I work in a very competitive space as a technologist and a tech entrepreneur, and people that I work with, it's hard being a woman in this space, and you do realize that you have to work twice as hard to be heard, to be recognized for the work that you do. So absolutely. Tell me a little bit about your book. So I want to know what is it about, and if you can maybe point the people who are watching where they can find it, and what was the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, well, firstly, Faiza, it's amazing to hear that you're working in this field, and we're very inspired by your work as well. So it's incredible, all that you're doing. And I've said it before in our conversation as well, you're paving the way. So you don't know how many women and girls look at you and, they feel represented and feel inspired by you and your story. So thank you for everything that you're doing. So this is so funny. So I wrote Pakistan for Women around 5 years ago now. It feels so, because it came out in 2019 March, and I started writing it like a year and a half before it came out, or 2 years maybe. I can't even remember anymore. It's been a while. But I remember pitching it to different publishers, and there was a publisher that came back to me and said, they could have literally just said nothing, or they could have just kind of be like, okay, we don't want to publish this book, but they came back and they were like, it's very difficult to publish a book about Pakistan focused on like that part of the world, because nobody likes to read there. And that was so ignorant and arrogant. And I think that person, I can't remember if that person was, I'll have to look it up again in my emails or something, but I can't remember if that person was from Pakistan who moved out of Pakistan, because sometimes that's also like a thing, hating on your own people. But that was just kind of a very, very ignorant comment that I remember. And that didn't discourage me, but I was like, after a certain level of rejection from publishers, and in all honesty, I think to some publishers, I didn't even submit it properly, because I was like, it was my first book, and I didn't understand what like submitting a manuscript looks like. How do you reach out to publishers and stuff like that? So I was just like cold emailing everybody with my manuscript. So nobody published my book. And then I was like, okay, what do I do? Then I remember the series Rebel Girls, and part of the reason why I wanted to publish Pakistan for Women was because of Rebel Girls, that I saw Rebel Girls being published, and then I saw a series of books being published like Rebel Girls, but they weren't including women from Pakistan. A lot of them had story of Malala, and that is so amazing, and I absolutely love Malala and the work she does. But it was so important to represent more stories, you know, to give a holistic view of a country, so that you don't think that the country is just, you know, is represented by one story or two stories or three stories. So that came out in 2019. Then following that, I published a book called Rise that included stories of 100 women of color from around the world. And that was published by Saki Books in London. And that's available like on their website and like all of the different bookstores. I'm really grateful for that opportunity. Even in Pakistan, I know various bookstores carry it. And then the third book was Journey to America, that was published by Quarto Books. Again, it's through traditional publishing, but Pakistan for Women was the only one that was, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna self-publish it. But that helped me publish 2 other books in a traditional publishing way. And yet Pakistan for Women was the most successful book that I ever published. So, and it taught me so much. I absolutely loved it. And after a point, it became like a community project as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. And about the comment, yeah. So my clientele is based in the US and in the West. So people do ask questions like, do Pakistan has, do you guys have electricity? Do you have the internet? How come you speak such good English even though you live in Pakistan? So again, I mean, I understand if you don't know, and if the question is meant out of curiosity, but a lot of times it's not. Yeah, so it doesn't feel that good. I generally am very respectful when I respond, but sometimes I also tend to snap at people and tell them to Google it. But I understand. I understand that this does happen. My next question is about again. So the WomenRise project. How do you envision it to contribute to this larger conversation about women's rights and access to education?
I think that's a lovely question, Faiza. So with WomenRise, because it's an almost 2-year-old project now, we have had a presence at various events around the world, and we have spoken with various thought leaders to spread the message, to campaign, to spread awareness. We have donated to different organizations, some of the names I included earlier in our conversation. And constantly we create art for visual representation to have these conversations, because art in many ways, we didn't find traces of systems of agriculture until like a few thousand years ago, but we found traces of like art and communication through art, I think over like 8,000 years ago or something in like human history. I will have to double check this because I recently read this in a book, and that was very interesting to me. But art has a lot of power, and it is all around us, whether you're talking about movies, music, architecture that surrounds us, or painting, drawing, even the graphics that you have on your phone, right? Like that's also a form of art. And so art is our main tool of communication. And then on top of that, we continue to have conversations. We are writing and researching materials on the WomenRise platform and sharing it with the community that does include people from different parts of the world. So to bridge that gap, to make sure that we are directing them to different organizations, we are directing them to, you know, understanding these issues a little bit better. You may not always have the time as a person, and how busy and overwhelming our lives can be sometimes, to sit down and follow a news story or follow statistics that World Health Organization is posting, or UN is posting, or World Bank is posting about women's health, women's rights, all of that stuff, right? It's complex, it takes time, and we always don't have the time. And even with trending stories in the media, they sometimes fizzle out and you move on to the next one. So I feel like through art and through bite-sized information pieces, you're able to at least give people some sort of an idea of why we need this action, why we need campaigning, why we need you. And I think people just even giving the time sometimes sparks a conversation and sparks a change, like that can help them donate to a certain organization. If that organization is already doing the work, you're giving them a brick to build a building, right? So it's a chain reaction. It's not like one person doing everything. It's not one organization doing everything. We all are needed. And I feel like our work through art and tech is another brick. It's not the building, it's the brick.
Got it. Got it. So again, a little bit of a personal question. So if I talk about myself, I got into this whole area of advocacy and the work that I do is because, again, everybody has a language to show that they care, and in my case, it's act of service. And that's how people would know that I care for them, because that's who I am. And because, again, I come from a very conservative, very traditional family. Most of the women in my family, like my age and older than me, they never even went to college, got out of school, matriculation, and then got married, had kids. So my parents gave me that power to choose for myself, in the sense that, you want to go to a university, go ahead. You want to study engineering, go ahead. And then throughout my life, I got opportunities that a lot of the women in my family were deprived of. And I realized that now there's a stark difference between the lives that we lead, myself and my peers, my cousins, and people around me. So that made me realize that I need to do something for other women around me. If I couldn't save them, maybe other women can find opportunities and they can become financially independent, they can take care of themselves, they can not get lost into the relationships and have their own identities as human beings, right? So for me, the whole idea behind the work that I do is that. And I'm sharing that with you because I'm pretty sure something similar must have happened to you, to start thinking about getting into the space of creating awareness for women and get into that arena for kind of pushing people towards social justice for women. So any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Faiza, the way you have shared your story so beautifully, it sounded like, I mean, in Pakistan, we are such a close-knit community and also family, right? Like I grew up in a joint family, like all of my uncles, aunts, cousins, all of us are in one house, in my grandfather's house, right? But why is it that you are different than your cousins and you're leading a different life? It's because you said it in your answer. It's because of the encouragement from your father and your mother, right? So you had people around you that you trusted and they loved you, and they were like, just do whatever your heart says. And sometimes you just need that one person. You just need that one person to encourage you and see your potential. And every human has a potential, it's just sometimes a moment of vulnerability or finding care from somebody you love or somebody that inspires you, and or being able to see yourself on a big screen in the news or something, and you're like, okay, if Faiza can do it, I can do it as well. So it's that moment of like, once you have achieved your dreams because of the people around you, I think that just is so powerful, and that can set a chain reaction. So it's incredible in the way you eloquently shared that. that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And again, this idea of paying it forward, because we know that we came to a point because a lot of people are on the way taking care of us, supporting us. So we need to be the same for other people. So coming back to Backpack X and the work that you're doing, by the way, I'm seeing the comments on Facebook, and then Zia is saying that she loves your work. She's a big fan of your work. Then we have
Thank you so
Just
much.
Salam. She's also mentioned that she has been following your work for a while and really love the way that you portray brown women. So I'm seeing the comments also, but again, just wanted to stay in the conversation. So I want to know, because again, we generally do not have a lot of live listeners. People come back to it later on, and then you will see a lot of questions coming in. So I want to put that question right now on their behalf is, you're coming with your project to Pakistan. So what kind of organizations, what kind of people that you're looking for to give you the right support to make this project successful? Are there any people or any collaborations that you're looking forward to? Anything that the community itself, because we have like an 11,000 women community all working in tech. So anything specific that you're looking for that people can help you, connect with?
Well, firstly, grateful for all the comments. It's all because of Faiza and the community that she has nurtured, that we're even having this conversation. So really grateful for that. And Pakistan, I think we already have like a few partner schools where we're going to be holding the Backpack X program and sharing the content that we have created using the WomenRise IP, and introducing VR technology and having an entire programming around it. But we also are connecting with different tech communities in Pakistan, especially focused on women. And it's just so that we can create a safe space for conversations, and see if we can even support them in any way. So it's we're looking for, we're not looking for anything like too specific, but if you're somebody working in tech, if you're passionate about this, you are more than welcome to reach out to us. If you think there is a school where we can hold this programming, we can definitely, and you can connect us to them. I think that would be absolutely wonderful, and we can then keep that in mind for the next iteration of Backpack X, because like I said, this time we have a few partners, and we have our programming ready. But even you allowing me to come on your platform and being able to share about Backpack X on your in front of your community, that is support enough. That's a lot. So we're really grateful for that.
Got it. So when is the tentative plan for you guys to come here? When are you starting it?
Yeah, so we're going to be in Pakistan from the middle of October till the first week of November. And that's not a lot of time, because I feel like every time I go to Pakistan, regardless of like how much time I'm spending there, it just goes by like this. Like, it's so quick. And on top of work, I have like a huge list of like places that I want to go and eat like biryani and like different stuff as well. So I'm looking forward to that too. And I need to make time to go around and, you don't get food like Pakistan anywhere in the world, anywhere. So I'm excited about that aspect as well. And of course, like being able to spend time with my family as well.
Yeah. When it comes to food, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not just about Karachi. So I was in Skardu last week, and GB has wonderful food. Not spicy like ours, like Karachi food, because I'm also from Karachi, but they have wonderful food. And I was talking to, my partner at CodeGirls and a couple of other colleagues and friends that were with us, that everywhere that you go in Pakistan, you find something really amazing. And again, the food is again, the topmost thing about about the country for a lot of us. Absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
Maliha, so again, because we have a community of a lot of women who work in tech, right? So 11,000 women, all of them working in tech in some capacity. Some are women who have worked in tech and now want to come back, and they're constantly on the lookout for opportunities. So, do you have any insight on the kind of opportunities that are available in the NFT Web 3.0 space for digital artists or for people who are interested in that space? Do we have any insights to share?
Yes. Okay, I love that question. Firstly, I think it's great that there are so many incredible, talented women in your community who are seeking these opportunities, and I'm sure these opportunities will seek them as well. So this question, the answer to this question, I would like to break it into a few parts. In my experience in Web3 that I have seen, it can be a very thriving and very exciting space. And even though in the last year, you can call this like a bear market. I think that's the word that they're using. Regardless of that, I'm seeing a lot of opportunities because this is still a very much like a new space for everybody. And I have seen people change their lives because and find financial freedom, independence, being able to find flexibility to work with different organizations. So firstly, we need to remember that a lot of different organizations are stepping into the Web3 space, whether you're talking about art, fashion, tech, a lot of them. So you will find your space, and if you are looking for an opportunity, you will find it. I think another thing is that in order for you to be a part of this space, you don't have to have a certain kind of course or education or anything like that. I feel like if you spend like a couple of hours on YouTube just learning about researching about the space and getting a grip on it, I think that's more than enough to at least get you started. Twitter is not my favorite platform. If it's annoying. Twitter is annoying sometimes, but I also recognize that Twitter is where a lot of the conversations around NFT and crypto are happening. So and Web3. So I feel like if you have the mental capacity, make a Twitter account, or if you already have one, start using it, because I wasn't using it actively before NFTs and before the Web3 space. So use it. Check out some communities that you may like, and yeah. Now, specifically talking about tech opportunities, let's say for software engineers or software developers, Solidity is the language for smart contracts. Smart contracts is needed by various companies, various artists, almost anybody who is trying to deploy a contract or any kind of project on the blockchain. I wanted to study that myself. Like, I was trying to learn about it a bit too, and then I got busy in the middle. But if I was like a woman interested in tech and starting today in Web3 space, and that was like of my interest, if I wasn't like an artist, if that was like my interest, I would definitely, look into how to, and you can learn on the job as well sometimes, right? There are already tools like AI tools as well that can guide you on the way. So that's like one language that I would focus on as a software developer, especially if you have already a background in coding. Then for community focused jobs, there are jobs that are like how they would be jobs like in social media as well, because Web3 also has social media, and every Web3 company has a social media account. So if you are great at marketing, if you're great at social media, if you're great at community management, people need community management for their Discords, for their Twitter, for their Instagram, for their Facebook, all of that. So there is a job for that, and that is a full-time job for, sometimes there's an entire team, because that's not an easy job. It's not like, oh, just replying to somebody. It's creating content, it's engaging with the community in a meaningful way. And you have to be ingrained in that community then. So there are jobs around that. And now if I talk about digital artists, you don't have to work with a certain company for you to be a digital artist in this space, if that makes sense. So you can create art, and there are so many different platforms that can help you put your work out there on blockchain. You don't need to work with a software engineer that can deploy a smart contract for you unless you're doing like a bigger project that you want it to be on an independent, like on your own website or something. But for example, Super Rare is is a great platform where you apply to be an artist, and you can start posting your work, and there is a community of collectors that will pay attention to your work, and I think researching is very important, because then you can see what, like, are there other artists in your category, what are they pricing their work is. Your work pricing will depend on your experience as well. Other than that, Ethereum is not the only blockchain. I mean, it's the most famous one, but there are also digital art on Bitcoin now, ordinals, and there's also a lot of beautiful art on Tezos blockchain as well. So I would recommend, and Solana, and I would recommend artists like exploring different blockchains too. And yeah. So these are some of the things that I could think of right now.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Because again, as I mentioned, that a lot of these women are constantly looking for ways to upskill themselves and find better employment opportunities. And currently, the trend that we are seeing is a lot of women are opting for remote-only jobs.
Yes.
So they're constantly upskilling themselves so that they can get employed outside of Pakistan. And because of the economic condition, they want to make sure that they get good money so that they can catch up to inflation. That's another thing that is happening right now here. So again, thank you so much, Maliha. I think this was a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed listening to you. And really excited to see what you guys are able to achieve here in Pakistan. If you ever have any communication that you want us to share in Women in Tech PK, I'm happy to put it out for you. If you're looking for specifically any support, anyone that you want to get in touch with, if I know them, I'm happy to make introductions. The essence of the community is to make sure that whoever comes to the community is getting the ample support that they need to make sure that they're able to achieve whatever they want to achieve. So thank you so much. If you have any message at the end, we are almost at the end of the time, so please go ahead.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Faiza, for such a warm conversation. I really loved discussing all things about community, art, and tech with you, and learning a little bit more about your personal story as well. And it's definitely very inspiring. So thank you so much, and just keep doing the work that you're doing. And thank you for saying that you were going to support us. I'm grateful. If you need our support in any way, please let us know. We're here for you. And if any of your community members have any other questions or anything that they want to know later as well, please email us at any time. We're always happy to share any information that we have. And yeah, so thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Maliha. I'm going to ask Cassie for the links to all the projects that you're doing so that we can put it out in the description so that people can go and check them out. I'm also going to share the link of this conversation with you if you want to repost it, because we do these conversations on our public platform so that people can reshare and it reaches to more people. Thank you so much. Lovely having you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Faiza. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Love